Hey you! Been wondering if you missed the Bitcoin train? Is it too late to buy in? Or is this still the beginning of something massive? Let's break it down. The good, the bad, and why Bitcoin is way more than just an investment, it's a revolution. Subscribe and stay tuned through this 4-part series to get the full picture.
This is the digital revolution. No retreat, we are the movement. Building empires that forever last. We don't fold, we rise, we blast.
The common doubt. Every bull run, it's the same question. Did I miss my chance? Back in 2013, Bitcoin hit $100. People said it was too late. In 2017, it hit $20,000. Too late. In 2021, it hit $69,000. Again, too late. Yet here we are in 2025, and Bitcoin hit over $100,000, and people are still asking. Bitcoin's price is volatile, sure, but zoom out. The trend? It's clear. So yeah, every cycle, people think they're too late. But if Bitcoin keeps coming back, stronger each time, maybe the real question isn't, am I too late? Maybe it's, what exactly am I looking at? Because you can't understand whether it's too late until you understand what Bitcoin actually is. The case for Bitcoin. So, what is Bitcoin, really? Most people just hear the price headlines. Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, or Bitcoin crashed 20% overnight. But if you stop there, you miss the bigger picture. Let's take a step back. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first digital form of money that isn't controlled by any government, company, or central bank. Imagine cash, like a dollar bill but digital. You can send it anywhere, anytime, 24/7 with no middleman, no bank approvals, and no one stopping you. How does it work? Bitcoin runs on something called the blockchain, a public ledger that records every transaction ever made. You might be asking, what is blockchain? Imagine a blockchain like a public notebook, one that anyone can read, but no one can erase or fake. Every time someone sends Bitcoin, a new line is added to the notebook. Sam sent 1 BTC to Jane. And every 10 minutes, all the new transactions get locked into a block, kind of like sealing a page in the notebook, and then a new page, aka block starts. And the cool part? This notebook isn't stored in one place. It's copied across thousands of accounts around the world. Everyone has the same copy, so if someone tries to cheat and write something fake, the others will reject it. That's how we keep Bitcoin honest without a bank. Bitcoin is also decentralized. Okay, so what does decentralized mean? Let's compare. A bank is centralized. Your money sits in their system. If the bank shuts down or freezes your account, you're stuck. Bitcoin is decentralized. No single person, company, or government controls it. It runs on a network of thousands of computers all working together, all checking each other's math. Even if one computer goes down, the others keep Bitcoin running like a swarm. So, if one country bans Bitcoin, it still works. If one company crashes, Bitcoin keeps going. It's like the internet, you can't just turn it off. And the best part? It's built so that no one can cheat the system. You can't fake Bitcoin. You can't copy it. You can't just print more. So in simple terms, imagine a block in blockchain as a page in the notebook where transactions are recorded, and when one block is full, a new one is added to the chain. This is a blockchain, a secure, permanent record of all Bitcoin activity. And it being decentralized is where there is no boss, no middleman, no one in control, just a fair system that runs on code. Bitcoin is digital gold with superpowers. Here's where it gets exciting. Only 21 million Bitcoins will ever exist. That's it. That's the hard cap. No printing, no inflation, no central banker changing the rules. Compare that to the US dollar, where the money supply has more than doubled since 2020. Your dollar buys less, while Bitcoin's scarcity gives it strength. It's like gold, but better. You can store it on your phone. You can send it across borders in minutes. And you can divide it into tiny pieces. You don't have to buy one whole Bitcoin. Because one Bitcoin equals 100 million Satoshis. So yeah, Bitcoin is like gold, but way more powerful. It's easy to send, easy to store, and no one can make more of it. It's not just an asset, it's a tool. But here's the real question. Why does any of this actually matter? Why should regular people, not tech geeks or crypto bros, care about Bitcoin? Because the world we live in today is changing fast. Here's the truth. Our money is broken, and most people don't even realize it. Inflation is high, governments are in massive debt, banks can freeze your funds or charge you fees just to access your own money. Do you notice that your money is losing value? Let's look at a practical example. Since 2020, the US government has printed trillions of new dollars out of thin air. They call it stimulus. But printing more money doesn't make us richer, it just makes the dollars we already have worth less. It's like putting more water into orange juice, it waters it down. More dollars equals weaker value. Let's look at the dollar, the money you work for every day. It's losing value, fast. That's called inflation, and you're feeling it whether you notice or not. Your groceries cost more. Rent is up. Gas is up. Even basic stuff like coffee, toothpaste, and eggs all more expensive. But here's the thing. Prices aren't just going up, your money is buying less. That's what inflation really is. You can learn more about what inflation is in our other video by clicking here. But Bitcoin flips the script. Bitcoin wasn't created to get rich quick. Bitcoin was born out of the 2008 financial crisis. It was created as a lifeboat when the traditional system started to sink. Unlike the dollar, Bitcoin can't be printed. It's hard capped at 21 million coins. That makes it deflationary, meaning its value goes up over time, not down. It's like digital real estate, only limited and global. And in a world where everything is getting more expensive, Bitcoin is a way to protect the time, energy, and money you've already earned. It gives you control. You hold your money. You send your money. You decide. No approval needed. No borders. No politics. So no, Bitcoin isn't just a risky tech stock. It's not just something to trade. It's a new foundation for how we store value, protect wealth, and escape the traps of inflation. Now that you understand what Bitcoin is, let's weigh the pros and cons of actually buying it today. Pros of buying Bitcoin today. 1. It's scarce, only 21 million will ever exist. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. That's it. No one can make more. Not a government, not a company, not even the person who created it. Compare that to the US dollar, where more and more is printed every year. That makes Bitcoin scarce, like digital gold. And when something is scarce and in demand, what usually happens to the price? Yep, it goes up. 2. It's borderless and accessible to anyone. You don't need a bank. You don't need permission. You just need a phone and an internet connection, and you can own Bitcoin. Whether you're in the United States, Argentina, Nigeria, or India, Bitcoin works the same. It's money for the internet age, and it doesn't care about borders, politics, or your credit score. And that's powerful, especially for people in places where the local currency is collapsing or the government controls access to money. 3. You can be your own bank. When you hold Bitcoin, really hold it, you own it completely. There's no bank that can freeze your funds, no app that can shut you out. You can store it on a simple USB-like device called a hard wallet. And it's protected by something only you control, a private key. It's scary at first, but it's also empowering. For the first time in history, you can hold value without relying on anyone else. 4. It's still early in global adoption. Here's a stat that surprises people. Less than 5% of the world owns Bitcoin today. That's about where the internet was in the late 1992nd. That means there's still massive room to grow, especially as big companies, governments, and institutions get involved. You're not too late, you're early in the next financial wave. 5. It protects against inflation and government mismanagement. Remember when we said our dollars are losing value? Bitcoin is the opposite, it's hard money. Nobody can dilute it, nobody can stimulate it. It gives people a safe way to store value, especially in countries where savings are being destroyed by inflation. This is why people in places like Venezuela, Turkey, or Argentina are using Bitcoin, not to get rich, but to survive. 6. It makes you think differently about money. This one's deeper. Once you start learning about Bitcoin, you start asking bigger questions. What is money, really? Why does my dollar lose value every year? Who actually benefits from inflation? Bitcoin wakes people up. It's not just a new form of money, it's a whole new mindset. So, to sum it up, Bitcoin is scarce. It's open to everyone. It gives you control. It's early in adoption. It fights inflation. and it changes how you see the world. But let's be honest, it's not all sunshine and laser eyes. There are risks, and if you're going to invest in Bitcoin, you need to know both sides. Because Bitcoin isn't a magic money button. It's powerful, but it's not perfect. And if you're going to step into this space, you need to go in with your eyes wide open. Cons of buying Bitcoin today. 1. It's very volatile. The price swings are real. Bitcoin's price can jump or crash 10%, 20%, even 50% in a matter of weeks. That can feel exciting or terrifying. Imagine buying at $60,000 and seeing it drop to $30,000. That happens, and if you don't understand why, you might panic sell at the worst time. So if you're looking for a stable investment like a savings account or bonds, Bitcoin's not it. You've got to be ready for the ride. 2. Regulation is still uncertain. Bitcoin exists outside of traditional systems, and governments don't always like that. Some countries have embraced it. Others have tried to ban it. And here in North America, regulation is still evolving fast. Will taxes increase? Will governments crack down on exchanges? No one knows for sure. So yes, there's a risk that laws could change in ways that affect how you buy, sell, or use Bitcoin. 3. It has a learning curve. Bitcoin's not plug and play like a regular banking app. What's a seed phrase? How do I store it safely? What happens if I lose my private keys? If you don't understand these things, you could lose your Bitcoin permanently. There's no forgot password button in Bitcoin. You have to take responsibility for your own money, and that takes time and learning. 4. Scams and hacks are everywhere. The Bitcoin network itself has never been hacked, but the people and platforms around it? Different story. Fake apps, phishing emails, shady exchanges, rug pulls, they're all out there. And once you send Bitcoin to a scammer, it's gone. No refunds. If you're new, you've got to stay sharp. Double-check everything. Use trusted sources. And when in doubt, do nothing until you're sure. 5. You might not get rich quick. Let's be real. A lot of people hear about Bitcoin because of the crazy price stories. This guy turned $100 into $1 million. That kid bought a Lambo. But most of that is luck, plus timing, plus headlines. Bitcoin is not a lottery ticket. It's more like planting a tree. It grows over time if you're patient and steady. If you expect overnight riches, you'll likely be disappointed or make emotional decisions that hurt you. So yeah, Bitcoin isn't perfect. The price swings can mess with your emotions. It takes work to learn and store it safely. And there's no safety net if you make a mistake. But for a lot of people, those trade-offs are worth it for the freedom, the control, and the long-term potential it offers. Okay, now you know the pros and cons, the good, the risky, and the real. But let's zoom out again. Bitcoin equals the digital revolution. Because Bitcoin isn't just about price charts, profits, or getting in early. It's about something bigger. It's about changing the way money works and who gets to control it. We've seen the internet revolutionize how we share information. From newspapers to blogs, radio to podcasts, cable television to YouTube. Now we're seeing that same shift happen with money. Bitcoin is the first layer of a brand new financial system. One that's global, digital, and doesn't play by the old rules. Bitcoin is to money what the internet was to communication. Think of it like this. Before the internet, only big media companies could publish news. Then came blogs, X, and YouTube. Now anyone can speak to the world. Before Bitcoin, only governments and banks controlled money. Now, anyone can store, send, and protect their wealth with just a phone and internet. That's the revolution. Not just new tech, but a shift in power back to the people. The foundation for what comes next. And this is just the beginning. Bitcoin is the base layer like the foundation of the internet. On top of it, we're already seeing instant payment apps like the Lightning Network, Bitcoin ATMs, countries adopting Bitcoin as legal currency, tech being built that we can't even imagine yet. The tools are still being built, but the foundation is already here. And just like the early days of the internet, those who learn early, win early. Final thoughts. So, is it too late to buy Bitcoin? No, not if you understand what it is. Not if you see where the world is headed. And not if you're in it for the long game, not just the headlines. Think bigger than just price. Don't think of Bitcoin as just an investment. Think of it as a tool. A way to store your time and energy. A way to opt out of a system where your money quietly loses value year after year. Because here's the truth. Bitcoin is still early. Most people don't understand it yet. Most institutions still don't fully trust it. And that's exactly why there's still opportunity. Zoom out, educate yourself, take your time. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You don't have to FOMO in during a hype cycle. You can start slow, learn, research like you are doing now, and make your own call. Bitcoin rewards people who think long-term, stay curious, and stay calm. So what comes next? Bitcoin versus real estate. But Bitcoin's not the only way people build wealth, right? You've probably heard people say, "Why buy Bitcoin when I could just invest in real estate?" It's physical. It cash flows. It's always been the safe bet. In part 2, we're going head-to-head, Bitcoin versus real estate. Which builds more wealth? Which gives you more freedom? And which one's actually better in today's economy? Knowledge is power, and now that power is yours. If you learned something new, give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and share it with someone who needs to know the truth about the money system.